Alright, our last example here is example 5, and so things are going to get a little more complicated. They're going to throw something at us to plug in to our original function, which is 2 minus x cubed. Alright, so in this case they say wherever we see x, we're going to plug in 2x, so our original function was 2 minus x cubed. Instead of the x, we put in a 2x. Let's simplify. 2 cubed is 8x cubed. And the minus is in front of the parentheses, so we will not change the minus. We wouldn't here anyway since it's cubed. And so we want to look at what's the difference between them. The shift is exactly the same. The shift is still 2. The reflection is still exactly the same. We're still being flipped over the x-axis. We're being shifted, reflected vertically. However, the stretch factor is much bigger. The 8 is bigger than the original 2. So this is going to be a taller and skinnier graph than the original. If the x cubed graph originally looked like that, it would still hit this same point, but would be much taller and skinnier. It's being stretched vertically. Conversely, we can do b here. G of x, we're going to go ahead and say 2 minus, and instead of x, we're going to plug in 1/2 x and see what happens. 2 minus 1/2 cubed is 1/8 x cubed. And so remember, we say fractions is fatter, so we're going to have a wider graph in this case. So let's go ahead and see if you can try a problem on your own. Try problem 35 and see how you do. Alright, it sounds like you're ready to go. On this one, our parent function is going to be y. Excuse me, we should be in function notation here, so instead of y, let's write down f of x equals the square root of x. And the sequence of transformations on this one is it's going to be stretched taller. So let's go ahead and graph this. C. Square root function, normally the square root of 0 is 0. The square root of 1 is normally 1, but in this case we're being multiplied by 3. So the first one that's going to really help us out here is the number 3. 3 times 3 is 9. The square root of 9 is 3. And normally the square root of 3 would be less than 2. Normally it would be down there. So we will notice that we are being stretched higher than our normal square root function. Lastly, d equals, on this one, g of x equals g of x equals f of 3x. Instead of plugging in x where we normally would, now we have a 3x. Hopefully that helped. Make notes of anything you didn't understand and be ready to ask questions tomorrow in class.